I think everybody, if you just right now, run a list of run your run your customers from the last 12 months
Hmm.
and run the names of the customers and how much business you did with them. Absolutely. If you have if you have 100 companies you did business with, right? If you go 20 down and draw a line, and I'm betting you're going to have 70, 80% of your revenue came from those top 20.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we did. And then we took it a little further. We said, is there anything we can learn about the profile of those types of people in that category? And for us, what came out of it, Khalil, was we identified three types of customers, partners that were in that category for us. One was very large exhibit houses that ultimately could build anything they want in their own shop, but we became the overflow shop. Either hey, we're strategically located, so on tight budgeted projects, they're going to use those forward deployed guys in Las Vegas or Florida,
Yeah.
um, or hey, they're at capacity, and we know these guys we can lay some work off. That was number one. Number two was small to mid-size exhibit houses or resellers who didn't necessarily have an inventory that they could build their own stuff with, or maybe they were located in a secondary market, not a major convention city, and they needed a fulfillment team in that city where most of their clients' events took place. That is a huge part of our 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 top 20% client base. And the third was experiential agencies that don't make anything and they just need partners.
Hmm.
And again, we chose the two busiest business event cities in North America to set up shop in. So they would find us, and they have really interesting event type stuff. It could be a tech user conference. It could be a product launch. It very often is not just a trade show booth. And that's a market we felt was important for us to start to stretch and flesh our legs in. So when I look at our top 20%, 80% of our business was coming from, that was the profile of those three. There's other people we found in there, but profiles, so part of what we looked at was not just who they are,
Hmm.
but can we identify the profile of that type? And then as we go looking to expand our partner base, we now know the profile of what we're looking for. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, did you ever, I think it was Malcolm Gladwell talked about the 80-20 principle. There's a lot written on it, but he tells about the scientist who developed the principle. It's like a natural thing. Um, he talked about how he grew peas or green beans, some sort of vegetable, and it applied there. 20% of the crop of the actual plants produced 80% of the seeds of the actual
The
like
yield, the
beans,
yield.
you
Yeah.
know? And so it's a natural thing. And I mean, I love just looking at that principle. But I think one thing that applies to the, grow with no mindset is that you should be saying no more often, because if the 80-20 principle applies to the opportunities that come your way as well. Like if you're not saying no, then you're not charging enough. Just,
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
So you're a guy like me,
Yep.
and you've been in the industry 35 years. You've got a lot of professional friends that
Hmm.
you've made through a variety of ways. You get a phone call from that professional friend that you haven't heard from in 10 years. You're really not doing any business. And they're in a 911 situation, which happens, right? Growing with no also for us meant getting out of the 911 exhibit business. But you don't want to hurt the feelings, or you don't wish ill on a professional acquaintance. How do you say no with empathy and kindness in those moments?
Yeah. Man, Chris, I feel for you, man. I don't know how you got here.
Can I give them your cell number? Would you take those calls
Yeah,
for
I'll
me?
take them. And this is how it ended up. Chris, man, I know you're coming to me with this last minute thing. This is tough. I'm looking at it right now. So let me just make sure I understand it. You need this, buy this at this place. and this is your budget. I'm looking at this and I want to find a way that not only can I serve you, but that this can be a win-win for our team. And it's just not making sense to me. I- Is there a way that we can make this a win-win for me to help you? If not, maybe I can reach out to people that this might be able to work for and help you out. But this just isn't I don't see how we're
Yeah.
going to win on this one.
You're dead on. By the way, I think you're dead on. And in the end, what often comes out of that discussion, and I remember particularly a call on a Sunday not
Mm.
that long ago, and this person said, I just didn't, well, of course I'd love to catch up with you, but that's not why you're calling, right? But you just said it. And, but in the end, I just didn't know who else to call or try. I'm literally trying everything because I'm in a tough situation. And and yet in the moment, I would hope that that friend,
Yeah.
right, would be able to realize what they're sounding like, Khalil, because what you're realizing, and you realizing you're calling me with a high, an impossible project, and you're just hoping, what, I've got a Hail Mary pass
Yeah.
here.
Well, I think if
Um,
it's truly a friend relationship also, you can sit there and say, "Hey,
I haven't heard from them in 10 years.
oh, wow."
This is what I'm saying. By the way, and you'd be surprised, and I know there are listeners on this call that have been in, the industry, even if you're in this half as long as me. This is such a close community.
Yeah.
I got, it's funny, I got a call. He's probably gonna know who it is, but he just sent me a text 2 days ago, and he said, "I know you don't like the 911 calls, but I'm in a situation." And he had been down at Access, and he had said to me, where he said he said, he ended the text with, "Please let me know if there's anything you can do. After all, we are family," which was the walk up music I chose.
Oh,
I
okay.
was with my inauguration speech. I was like, wow, very clever the way that you framed that. And of course, I did investigate to see if there's anything I could do,
Sure.
because he is a real friend. And of course,
Yeah.
I'll do anything for him. I think we
Well,
all,
and the reality is it's not like you've got only friends reaching out to you that you're saying
no,
no to, and by saying
yeah,
no to some of the opportunities that are just out there and that aren't with close relationships, it allows you to then say yes to specific situations like this where you do want to help somebody and you can
yes.
be selective in those opportunities, right? But when you're saying yes to all these crazy opportunities that are out there that make no sense for you, you're not able to help in these 911 situations when a friend calls. And if you do, it's that one that puts you over the limit, right? So you
Yes.
need to have that margin.